guys, Larissa with BeCozi.net is here. BeCozi.net and BeCozi.com is American website with the biggest collection of chunky yarns. I'm the creator of hand knitting style back in 2015, and I started this YouTube channel in 2016. We have almost 400 video tutorials. Please subscribe to watch a new video tutorial every week. So today I'm using our beautiful chunky Chenille yarn and the three colors, misty green, cloud, and white. And I will be making a blanket that I'm calling Sea Bliss. I really like this color combination. So it's kind of like being on a sea beach. So here we are. This is a new pattern. I call it twisted cable, and I will be using one skein of yarn. It's 3 skeins of misty green, 3 skeins of cloud, and 3 skeins of white. Yarn is available at BeCozi.net. You will not find colors like that anywhere else. And this beautiful stitch is pretty easy. You just need to make sure that you're making the first row correctly, exactly as I am showing it to you. So if you have our yarn ready, let's get started. Okay, guys, so these 3 beautiful colors we will be using today. This is our misty green, and this one is our cloud, and this one is our white. So we will start with our misty green. Let's find an end. So by the way, see, I just opened it. It's a new skein and it has a knot. It happens to about 20% of yarn, chunky Chenille yarn. It doesn't matter where you're buying it. It happens in about, as I said, 20% of skeins. So what you do, you just cut the tails and you're just keeping this in the middle. It will not be noticeable. You can unwind it and connect it by burning. I prefer knots, so that's what we will have. So here it is. So find the end of your yarn, place the yarn in front of you. This is working yarn, this is the tail. Tail on the left, working yarn on the right. Working yarn goes on the top to make your first loop like that. So it's called slip knot. Now we will insert our hand inside, grab working yarn and pull it through this slip knot like that. We will not pull it too tight, we will pull it tighter later. So now we will be making a chain of 24 stitches, guys, okay? So this is the size of the stitch. I will measure it for you because I have a lot of questions, people asking what is the size of the stitch. So the size of the stitch for the chain should be about 2.5 inches. See, that's where it starts. This is the bottom of it, 2.5. If you want, you can place, you can take a ruler, you can make like little marks, 2.5, 5, 7.5, and then you just make your stitches in front of that ruler. So I'm inserting my fingers, grab working yarn, pull it out. This is second stitch, and this way you always have like a ruler in front of you, so you will see how big your first stitch on a chain, first row need to be, or a chain row. So they should be all about the same size, about 2.5. And when you will be making a blanket, the stitches will be smaller because this way you will have a beautiful bottom of the blanket and pretty tight stitches for the blanket itself. So as I said, we are making 24 stitches, and this pattern, guys, is a yarn eater, and it also will make the blanket smaller comparing to any simple pattern. So here we are. Let's count our stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now watch really carefully because this blanket pattern is done a little bit different. especially on the bottom. The first two rows are the most important. So if you follow me, you know that I usually flip the chain on another side. We're not doing it for this pattern. We're keeping it as is. We made the chain, and now we start making our pattern. Okay, so what are we doing? We are knitting first 3 stitches, and I will write it down for you, 1 underneath the video, 2, 3, knit 3. Now we are purling 2. Purling, yarn goes on the top, and then you're pushing it through. So 3 knit, 2 purl, and now we're knitting 2, and then we're purling 2, and that will be our pattern, guys. Okay, knit first 3, and then purl 2, and then knit 2, purl 2, up to the last 3 stitches on the chain. That will be how the first row knitted, and that's the beginning of our pattern. So here we are, we're almost to the left side. Here we are, see, 2 knit, 2 purl, and now we have 3 stitches to make 3 knitted stitches, the same as we did at the beginning of the row. So here is our first stitch, and that's when you are pulling it and securing like that. So now we pulled it, it's very nice and rounded here on the bottom. So what are we doing next, guys? So this is our first row we just made. Now flip this row on another side. Okay, here we are. And here we will have different stitches. Remember, we made 3 knitted. They are now purled because we flipped them over. So what are we doing? We are knitting this first stitch, not purling. Insert your finger, grab working yarn, and pull it out. See? Knit. Now we are purling these 2, because you see that they were purled before, or knitted on another side. What we're doing now, watch carefully, this is the whole pattern here. This is 2 knitted and this 2 purled. What we're doing, we're taking this top part of the purled stitch to the left from this 2 knitted. And then I'm taking this working yarn and I'm pulling it through this stitch. I just made an extra stitch behind this 2 knitted one. So this stitch, extra stitch, goes to the right, and these 2 stitches that were here, left inside the right, or left on the left, right on the right, but then you're knitting these 2 stitches together. See, we just twisted that extra stitch and those 2 stitches that we had here. Now we have 2 purl stitches. We are purling them. Now we're doing the same to our knitted stitches. They're going on the top. This purl stitch on the left, take this top part yarn sitting on the top of it, and then make this extra stitch. And now take these 2 stitches together, crisscross them with this extra stitch, and then knit them. Here we are. So that's what we will be doing to the end of this row. And this is the only time, guys, when we took our chain and we flipped it on another side. Now we will be just keeping our project in front of us, and we will be knitting all pattern left and right. Okay, so here's again 2 more times, 2 knitted. We're taking this purl stitch, making extra stitch, crisscrossing it with 2 knitted one, and knit them together. Now purl next 2, and then do it 1 more time here. Here's a little bit twisting, so make sure you're making it right. Here we are. And now we have here 3 purl stitches that were knitted on another side. We're doing the same. We are purling 2, and we are knitting this, guys. Okay, guys? we are knitting this last stitch like that. So here we are. This is our second row after we cast on. So now we will be simply knitting knitted stitches and purling purled one. We are not knitting first stitch, we're skipping it. We're going to the second purl, and these two stitches that were crisscrossed, or there were three stitches that crisscross that we made into two. You're simply knitting them, and then purl two next, and then knit two next. So this row is easier. You don't need to add extra stitch, no twisting, no cables, just simple two knit two purl pattern. That's what we will be doing until we use the whole skein of misty green, and then I will show you how I'm connecting cloud color. But before that, I would like to show you this side again. When we are here two purled, to reaching the end over here, knit, not purling, knit. Here we are, see? And we are creating beautiful chain on this side and on this side. We're skipping first stitch, see? First stitch is just sitting here. You can make it a little bit taller than this, because then it will cover two rows, and then go purl, purl, and then create twisted cable. Going inside of the purled on the left, create extra stitch, and then these two stitches knitted together, like that. So I will keep knitting this way, guys, this pattern, until I'm done with all misty green, and then I'll be back. So I have all my misty green yarn here. I have a long tail. As you can see, it goes here and even a little bit more, but it is not enough for the whole row, because if you measure it from this side to this side, it will be only two lengths, and we need at least three, not lengths, widths, three widths for the whole row. So we don't have enough. So what we will do, we will cut the yarn about 1/2 inch from the where yarn was inside the stitch, and we're keeping this yarn if we need it later. Now we're taking our cloud color and we are connecting it. I will show you the burning method of connecting. This seems to be most popular. I prefer a knot still, but here we are. So I usually just burn one side, and when it's burning, you attach on the other side and then push them toward each other, hold for a few seconds, and then when it's not hot, you can rub this yarn, two pieces of different colors together, to connect it nicely and to make that little plastic part inside as small as possible, because when you're doing this way, you're pressing on it. Okay, so here we are. So now the important part when we are introducing or adding new yarn. We are making the first stitch, we're not skipping it. And the reason is because we need a clear color, different color separation. So if we skip it, then this color will cover gray and it will not look good. So we are knitting the first stitch, and then we will start skipping it after this row. Now the trick is here, these purl stitches need to be knitted in the first row of adding new color. And the reason is, if we purl this to keep our pattern, you will have this green in the middle of cloud. It doesn't look good on the finished blanket. That's why this first row, we are knitting all our stitches. We're simply knitting them, okay? All the way till the end, knit all stitches. And then when we start knitting from the right to the left, that's where we are creating our pattern. That's where we will go back to purling stitches that are purled. You will not really see it on this side. All new color adding will be seen on the back of the blanket. That's why we're doing it this way. So here we are, almost to the end of the blanket, and I will show you how to make the last stitch and the first stitch. Here all knitted stitches, guys, okay? Knit this stitch, last stitch always knitted. Now that's where we'll start skipping it. We'll make it a little bit bigger. Now this, guys, will start being purled again. See, you do not really see where we knitted that row, but we don't have that mark of a new color, which is on the back. So here we are, we have two of our knitted, and we are making extra stitch. So here it can be a little bit tricky because we were making extra stitch from the purl stitch. This one is knitted. So you're just taking this right side of the stitch, inserting your finger, grabbing working yarn, and creating this extra stitch. And then these two stitches goes on the top of it, and then you knit it. So this first row of introducing new color is a little bit tricky. So now we are purling this two, 1, 2, we're following the pattern. Then these two knitted, go on the top, take this part of the stitch, create new stitch, and then this two goes on the top, crisscross, and knit. And then keep the pattern 2 purled, then crisscross cable. So I will keep doing it this way until I use all my cloud. I will then add white color in the same way, guys, the same way as I showed here. If you need, you can rewind back and watch it again. White color will be connected the same way. And then I will have alternation for misty green cloud and white a few times. So it will be three misty green colors. 3 misty green, 3 cloud, and 3 white. And the blanket will be 35 by 60. So when I'm done, I'll be back and show you how to finish. Okay, guys, here we are. Look at this gorgeous blanket. So it's all done. I use 3 skeins of misty green, 3 skeins of cloud, and 3 skeins of white, alternating. And that's just a gorgeous blanket. I love this color combination. I call it sea mist. That's how I will call this blanket. So now we can actually finish our blanket, and let me show how I am finishing it. So here is the side, and this is our last stitch here. So now we're taking our white yarn and we're placing it on the back. So this first stitch, I'm making an extra stitch because that will help to make beautiful churn on the side of the blanket. So now the stitch staying inside this, the yarn is on these 2 fingers, and then add another stitch, and then knit these 2 stitches together. Now keep your hands inside the stitch, add the second one, knit them together. And then we will keep knitting 2 stitches at a time until we are done with the whole top of the blanket. As you saw at the beginning of the video, I added different colors of the border for the blanket because I thought it would be fun to have it the same colors that are on the blanket, only in different parts of the blanket. So when I'm done here, I will show you how to add a border, and this border will be hand knitting style. There's another way to add border. It's crocheting. It's a different way of adding border. I have a video showing how to do both in my separate video. I will put the link underneath. So here we are. I have only 2 stitches left, one here and one here. 2 stitches together, 1 stitch. Now the tail goes inside the last stitch, and we are done. Now I usually go underneath this chain, in and out, and I just go on the bottom, on the back, and hide it or weave it in. So here we are. So we have, as you can see, I already added the border. So here it's cloud, here it's misty green. So we still have misty green here. So that's what we will be doing. So here is the stitch. So how to add the border? You're simply having the yarn behind the blanket, and then you are making a first stitch with the yarn, just simply pulling yarn through, and then you are making second stitch. In my case, I have it already, so you would make a second stitch like that, and then left one goes inside the right. So make a stitch, left goes inside of the right. And then you keep going around the whole blanket. And it's up to you what colors you want to have around. Like I said, I wanted to have them different colors. So here we have some of our cloud. And on this side, on the top of the blanket, I like to keep all of this on the back of the border. So what I will do, I will insert my finger to get a stitch on this side over here, okay? So another way you can use the back of the stitch, but then you will have this border over here. So let me show you. If you're using the back of the stitch, you will have this border over here. See, here you don't have it. So that's why I'm using this first part of the stitch, and then I'm making extra stitch, and left stitch goes inside the right. And I will be doing it to the middle of the blanket. That's how much cloud yarn I have. Here we are. And now I will actually add some of the misty green, and we will keep making a border, multicolored border. Here we are. So see, we switched to the misty green right in the middle of the blanket, and we will keep making this beautiful border up to the end of the blanket. So as I said, this blanket is a yarn eater, so I use 9 skeins, and the size of the blanket is 35 by 60. So it's not the biggest blanket, but it's really beautiful pattern. So here we are almost done with our border here. Here we are. Look at this beautiful blanket. So here's our border, misty green, cloud, white. And then it goes all the way around. Here we are. So this yarn is available at BeCozi.net. It's not available anywhere else, guys. BeCozi.net, BeCozi.com. When you're using this beautiful pattern and show your pictures on social media, please tag BeCozi. Just tag BeCozi. Don't just say, hey, I found it on YouTube. There are a lot of people posting on YouTube. If you're using this pattern, say BeCozi. Stay home and BeCozi. Hey guys, Larissa with BeCozi.net is here. I would like to introduce you my second book. The second book, Hand Knitting 102, it was published on November 25, 2025, and it's available to purchase on our website BeCozi.net, BeCozi.com. It's also available on Amazon. It's also available on Amazon as a downloadable version if you want, a Kindle, and if you want the real book, it's available again on our website and on Amazon. In this book, I'm showing new patterns and a few old one patterns. It's as usual, it's very detailed, it's very easy to understand what I'm doing. Very unique patterns where you can, those that you cannot find anywhere else. And again, this book is available. Go get it. And this is the best gift for yourself or your loved one.